Well, good morning. I'm sitting here all covered up. Not feeling good. I called the service this morning. I've been coughing up blood all night. Probably should have went to the emergency room. But I just called the service. They said they'd get me in this morning. So we're going to give it a shot. I do these spells every once in a while. I'm about to freeze to death. And I got the house about 80 degrees. That's why I was looking up to see what temperature it was. Playing with these beads. I need to move them somewhere. Poor little guy, he stayed with me all night. Even Ori wanted to get in bed with me, so I put him up there. He can't jump up there, but the little guy can. But Ori wanted to. I knew I was pretty sick when Ori was having a fit to get to me. So I put him up in bed with me so he'd shut up. He's right over there laying down, well, the other direction, but basically about 1.5 feet from my chair, laying on top of a blanket looking at me. Little guy, he's like his daddy. He pays a lot of attention to me. I'm laying back in this recliner, all huddled down, freezing to death. I don't want to get the house past 80 degrees. Poor dogs can't stand it. But no, I'm just not feeling well. And no, I don't think I got COVID. I think it's just my throat. My sister smokes when I go visit her. And every time I come back, I usually have a spell because she'll smoke in the kitchen with the exhaust fan going. That still goes all over the damn house. It makes my throat raw. So I said, well, you need to go outside. Well, it's cold outside. She got her a fan, but that exhaust fan don't seem to work that good. I said, it'd be like burning my throat. It sound like burning fish or something all day. I'm sort of cuddled up on this chair, waiting for them. They'll be calling me back about 9 o'clock and tell me what time to come in. Probably right away. I'm already dressed pretty well. I'm just laying here with a quilt on without no shoes on. Don't feel like doing much. I hadn't worked yesterday. I didn't work on anything. I didn't really do anything. I washed all the dishes up. They're all clean, but about 3 different dishes. I like cornbread and milk when I'm not feeling well. I'll even eat bread and milk, light bread and milk, but I don't like it as well as I do cornbread and milk. Cornbread and buttermilk. You people remember the old buttermilk? My grandmother, God bless her old soul, she's probably in her 80s when I was a kid. Maybe longer than that. But anyway, maybe 90s. Who knows? I can't remember. But she would, I said, Grandma, we ain't got no buttermilk. She said, oh, give me that vinegar. I'll make some up real quick. But she loves sour milk. She'd let it sit out there on the counter, of course with a cloth over the jar, until it got soured. And she liked soured milk. And I could never drink soured milk. Now, buttermilk I can drink. You put a little bit of vinegar in it and it'll clabber up. I remember she making cheese. She'd make that soft cheese, soft white cheese, like cottage cheese, basically. She'd hang it out on the porch. Let the whey drip out of it in an old cheesecloth. She usually make that when there wasn't no flies or insects around. They don't do shit anymore. I mean, I don't think people know how to do it, make anything, and they Google it, I guess. They're too damn used to going to the damn store and buying stuff. You can't buy sour. Well, you can buy milk and let it sour, but the milk that they soured is a little different than what they got today. Like if you're not spoiled milk is different than soured milk. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they let the milk sour. Then they use the enzymes on it to make cottage cheese and regular soft white cheese. Then you can still use that, and they put it in a pot. As far as I can remember, I was just a little kid, and they'd bring it up to just a light, not a boil, but just a simmer or whatever. Heat up the milk. Then they drop a little bit of vinegar in it to separate it, and some other stuff. I can't remember the other. They get it all separated and everything. I've got her old cookbook. It belonged to her grandmother, so it was probably made in the 16th, 17th century, probably 17th century, late 18th, between late 17th, early 18th. I called it a cookbook, but it was just a bunch of papers wrapped up in a deal. I kept all that crap. But like I said, I don't know where in the hell it's at right now. You know I'm a hoarder. I've got shit like this stacked up everywhere. I'm going to take some of these and make things out of them when I get to feed them better. I got a great big old pot looking thing that I'm going to glue. It's got a lid on it. I'm going to make it like a jewel. I got a cane I'm going to make. I got to stop. If I feel good, I'm going to stop at Ace and or Lowe's or somewhere and get me some dowels. I want some about 6 foot long. I'm going to make some walking sticks out of them. Not canes, but walking sticks. I got one that's got a sword on the end of it. I put it on there. It's covered up with a lightsaber scabbard. No, I just, like I said, I started coughing. And I couldn't quit. Of course, that breaks the blood vessels loose in my throat. And then I hack up a bunch of blood. And then I get tired. I usually being around smokers, or I'm not even supposed to be grilling anything on a grill or burning leaves or anything around like that. I can't, that smoke tears me up. So there you go. Just because you turn on the exhaust fans or whatever, they don't help a damn bit. I smoked for years. Bad, nasty habit. When I quit smoking, I was back in 2007, I think, or 5, 6, or 7, somewhere in that area. So I smoked up until then, but it felt like a big cloud went away, and then I could smell things, I could taste things better, and I didn't feel all yucky, you know what I'm saying? And you felt like a big old cloud just left, But I had cancer, the reason probably I quit. I decided that I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to cancel that heart examination because I don't feel like going up there and staying all day. And another thing, I don't think with this COVID, as bad as it is, I'm going to be exposed to it. I'm going to limit myself to exposure. That's what I'm going to do, because that new one's coming out and everything else. I think if anybody watched my videos about using spray bottles and different kind of chemicals to keep the germs down. My dogs ain't been sniffing, and I mean, they've been they have allergies too, like, pollen and all that crap. Mm. So like I said, I'm getting a little bit warmer now. I got that heat blowing over here on me. I noticed I wasn't feeling good because when you get the house real hot, you should be able to sweat. Well, I ain't sweating. So therefore it tells me I'm not feeling good, real good. Coughing up that blood, that's just commonplace anymore, I guess. But I was coughing up more than usual. I usually cough up a little dried blood that dried my throat, but this was pretty liquid. Like having a damn bloody nose and you can't make the damn thing quit, and it starts running back down my throat, which gags me, and then if it gets in your stomach, it makes big clods. I'm sounding terrible, but if you ain't careful, you get too much of it, you'll vomit it up, and it's just a damn mess. Hell, old age is old age, I guess. But I've been watching a video, a documentary is what I've been watching. I've been watching the hell out of them this morning. The painting I painted right up there a long time ago, regardless of what the damn trolls say. I've got about 25 empty canvases I could start painting again to start feeling a little bit better. I want to make me some walking sticks out of jewels that I've got. Not this crap here. This is basically just toys. Well, some of it ain't, but this piece here is just green. It's some of that Mardi Gras stuff. But you can make something out of it. I thought about it. There was a woman that used to live down the road from us. It was my wife's girlfriend. She was a real nice person. And she would buy an old picture that had a glass on it. And then she'd put a border around the frame to move the picture back further than the glass, about maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And she'd make collages out of old jewelry, different things, and she'd make, all kinds of things. And I thought, well, since I haven't worked in the mosaic department, I could cut all these old junky beads up and make an image or a picture out of them about what they do with rocks. But I've got one strand way up there, a little bitty tiny strand way up there that I could swear is real pearls. I know I found a real pearl bracelet. These cheap pearls like this, they have a string, but it's solid. The bead don't slide on the string. And when you get a real pearl, the bead will slide up and down on the string, and they feel different than these plastic beads. A lot different. Of course, then there's the acid test. Don't rub them across your teeth. I ain't got no damn teeth, so I can't do that. But anyway, I gotta do something today. The doctor's they'll be calling me about 9:30, something like that. So we'll see what they say. If I get in today, I'll give you another video. Hopefully I can. They always say, well, you should go to the emergency room. Oh, would you really like... When you go in the emergency room, let me tell you what they're going to do. You tell them your problem. They're going to put you on an IV. Just like, boom, right away, so they can charge for it. And then they're going to send you down an x-ray, boom, so they can charge for it. And Medicare is going broke as it is, you know. So, I mean, why not go to a doctor that knows every damn thing about you? You don't need a damn blood test. Oh, yeah, they got to pull blood. That's another one, boom. What he'll say, well, what have you been up to? Well, I said, well, I went and visited my sister. Well, he said, he'll say real quick, well, you know, every damn time you do that's what's going to happen. So basically, he'll give me the skull routine. And then he said, well, you could wear a respirator when she smokes. I don't think the hell that'll help. It's that shit that clings in the air. Like worse than COVID. But anyway, so I got a headache this morning really bad. Real bad, but I think it's from hacking, coughing and hacking. But that's all I got doing. What's this? Silver beads. Them are silver looking. I gave my daughter a soft freshwater pearl set. Used to belong to my wife. It was a necklace and a bracelet and earrings. I don't know what the hell she ever did with it. But you'll never get those saltwater pearls anymore. Well, modern ones. Because they've dammed up the Mississippi River. They've dammed up all these rivers. And the saltwater pearls don't create anymore. Or make, or whatever you want to call it. They're big clam shells. And apparently when they dammed up the rivers, that species of clam, it's not an oyster, it's clam, freshwater clam, they died out or something. And they don't, well, even if they didn't die out, they don't make the pearl anymore. And they're a wrinkled, flat-looking, you just have to see one. They don't round like these. They're just as pretty. They used to, a long time ago, they wasn't, when they first came out, they wasn't worth nothing, and now they're more expensive than regular pearls, because you ain't gonna get them, they're extinct. They went extinct. I'm gonna make me some walking sticks, so I've got a bunch of loose stones. Remember I told you I used to, my father was a Jew, and he owned pawn shops, and he told me how to buy jewelry. And I'd buy a bunch of it. Well, if you're going to sell gold back to, let's say, to a gold deal, it doesn't need to be in a real pretty ring or whatever, so I'd dig the stones out of it. The rubies, the sapphires, the emeralds, whatever the hell the stone was, diamonds, whatever the hell they were. And then I'd just crunch up all the gold and just, you'd melt it out or nothing. I just crunched it up and sold it as pennyweight gold, because you really couldn't get much out of the old rings anyway. But I kept all them stones. Thought about put them in a false teeth. I thought that would be funny. Open your mouth and you see nothing but diamonds, emeralds, and rubies and sapphires, and garnets, red garnet. They're like a ruby. I even got some Burmese rubies somewhere. Kids didn't pack them all. You know how kids are. I don't think they found them really. I'm going to put them in some walking stick. I'm going to make me a jewel walking stick. That's what I'm going to do. If I don't die this bloodletting, that's what I'm calling it. I guess I better let you go. I'll let you know if I get into the doctor, good Lord willing, I do. They'll call me in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes or something. The nurse told me, well, we call our service, and as soon as we get in, we see what's going on in the service. And all this is, I said, I really need to see him today, as soon as possible. Then you have to tell him what's wrong with him. Of course, they said, well, you need to go to the emergency room. Shit, like I told you that story. They just want to charge you. They don't give a shit. And the sad part about that shit is, the way COVID is right now, you probably end up having COVID. Especially if your throat was so raw and tender that germ would have a place to rest. And gargle with Listerine. That burns like hell, let me tell you. And it don't help you bleed, your throat bleeds either. Gotta go. You guys take care, because I'm going to get they'll be calling me on the cell phone, and I'm going to make sure that I'm off the air before they call me. Just message it up. Take care. Have a great day. And if you get out, be alone. Stay away from people. They're all disease-ridden, is the way I look at it. You have to eat up with the COVID, and that new COVID's about to kill them anyway. It's not even going to be effective, I heard, with the new vaccine they got out. God knows what's happening. Stay busy and do a lot of praying is what I've been doing. Praying for my government, praying for myself, and family and friends, and people I meet on YouTube that needs a little extra prayer. I got to call my friend back in courtside today. Wind come along, blew everything away, blew everything down. She's in her 70s, young pup. But she had enough sense to take down her tent and stuff, so that way she didn't get it all tore up. You know, they were like $300 or something, $400. She's on poor old Social Security. She can't afford much. I ain't heard from R.B. Dead in a while. That woman I listened to out there in Arizona, her name's Frida. I guess R.B. Dead found her a place to move into in Florida. I never was crazy about Florida. And now that Trump went down, I damn sure ain't crazy about his ass. Damn Florida. The only part I liked about Florida, I like the Keys pretty good, down in the Keys. Little island hopper. And then I lived in Wauchula, which is way south of Tampa. I like Louisiana pretty good. Gotta go, because I'll just sit here and rattle, and my memory will run wild. Take care, have a great day, and thank you guys for listening.